Hi there, this is Carl from Maximize Your Business. In this lesson, I'm going to teach you about creating an inspiring vision, and how to create an inspiring vision. But firstly, before I get into this, I want you to think about or explain the reason why you want to do this in the first place. There's a book which has this saying in it that without a vision, the people will perish. And I'm thinking about creating an inspiring vision, and the whole purpose behind doing that is that unless we have something that we're able to see in the future that is inspiring for us, we're not going to get there. In fact, we're just going to get thrown around and tossed around whichever way the wind is going. And so the whole purpose about creating an inspiring vision, before we get into setting some inspiring goals and so on, is to make sure that we're getting some clarity in our mind. We're turning our telescope and looking through the lens and seeing what it is that we want to have happen in the future. Peter Drucker had a famous saying that the best way to predict the future is to create it. And by getting into this creation phase, and by using this little framework I want to share with you of creating an inspiring vision, you can use this to help to inspire you, to help draw you into what it is that you want to work towards. And so the whole purpose behind it, as I say, is so that we've got clarity about determining where it is we want to be in the future, where we want to be, what's the ideal scene, what's the vision that we have for ourselves. And so there's two parts to this. One is to get some clarity around some different things that we want to be experiencing in this brighter future. When we're creating a brighter future for ourselves, we want to get clear about what are the things that we want to be seeing. So what are the things that you want to see when you're creating this brighter future, when you're creating this inspiring vision? What are the things that you want to see in your picture? What are the things that you want to hear when you are out into this futuristic place in time? And what is it that you want to be feeling? So once we've got some creativity going on in our minds, and we're giving ourselves permission to start dreaming and start thinking about what it is that we want to have out into the future, then we can start to engage these senses into that process. This is a great little framework that I've seen getting shared in schools now. And so it's just wonderful for our children to start learning this discipline, this habit of starting to dream, starting to think about all the different things that they want to have in their particular future. And so once we've got some of this as a framework, then the idea now is to look at a particular part of our life. If it's about creating an inspiring vision as part of our career is concerned, or about our business, or if it's about our financial side of things, it might be creating an inspiring vision which is around our physical well-being, our level of fitness, our health, and our vibrancy. It might be thinking about an area of your life around your relationships, what the vision that you have for your relationships. It might be around your business community. It might be about a cause or a charity, or something that you're wanting to put some time and effort and energy into it. We've just gone through every 3 years our country goes through and elects a new Prime Minister and a new government. And so when they're going through sharing what their vision is for the country, then they're needing to think about different parts of our country. They need to think about the health sector. They're thinking about education. They're thinking about the business community. They're thinking of all the different things, and they're coming up with a vision that they want their voters to be drawn into. And so here we have an opportunity for ourselves and our lives, because I believe that regardless of any government or any agency that or governing body that's running our country, for example, we can still have our vision for our lives. We can still choose what it is that we want to do with our lives, with where we find ourselves, and we're able to create our own inspiring vision. And so the next part of here is using this process of creative writing. And if you haven't done this creative or continuous writing, it might seem a bit odd at first. It might seem quite hard, and it might seem quite difficult to do this. But I just want to encourage you just to push on through and doing it. And by doing this, by just getting the pen out onto the paper, using the textures and so on, is a really good way of doing this. Some people might choose to use a vision board and cut out pictures and things out of magazines or books that might form as part of their vision. But if we're going to go along the lines of the continuous writing, then you want to start off your sentence by saying, my ideal scene is, and then just let the pen go. And so by this, it's about giving you permission to say, what is the ideal scene? What is the ideal picture that you want to create? What is it, the things that you want to be seeing? What are the things that you want to be hearing? What are the things that you want to be feeling out into the future as part of this inspiring vision and picture that you have for the future? I want to encourage you to put put yourself into a silent place, a place where there's no interruptions, a place where you might be out in nature, a place where you can just look out on the horizon, up on a hill, out in nature, just looking at all the different things that, there are no bounds. Get inspired by the wonderful creation that there is, that we're so fortunate to be living in. Marvel in the environment and use that to give yourself permission to dream big. And so that's a little lesson here. I hope you get some inspiration from being able to give yourself permission to do it. Give yourself the time, be creative, and remember, with passion and purpose, anything is possible.